What is good, my friends? It's your favorite YouTube dealer. For anybody that's been here for a minute, you know about the old intro. We had to bring it back for a little bit, but I wasn't expecting this. It's diss track season officially, but my man Knox Hill dropped a Drake and Akademiks diss called Scrub. So let's dive in, see what that man's talking about. Yo, I was even gonna say, I wonder if he's gonna use the actual Scrub soundtrack. Yo, that's crazy. My man threw the instrumental and all that on here.
I don't want no.
Nada franchise. Yo, I forget that I used to know the whole intro. This song is such a classic.
Somebody could get up, you're drinking, acting, double act, taking bubble baths. And couples therapy, they cuddling with bubble wrap. Hey, anything to cuff a bag and the numbers back. But why rap with lawsuits? He got a couple racks. Check his wheelchair, Jimmy never walked the walk. Quentin Miller gave him scripts, he could talk the talk.
Real fast, just regarding the lawsuit stuff, because Drake is getting dragged. And I'm not saying that I think that he shouldn't or anything like that, but I noticed today when I was scrolling on Twitter that somebody had shared the fact that Eminem sued Benzino and The Source back in the day for trying to leak the different old footage of him and try to claim that he was a racist. And people were using that to be like, well, how come no one got on Eminem's case and said he isn't hip hop for doing a lawsuit, but everybody's on Drake's case? Now, I'm not pushing that argument. I'm just letting you know that's what the argument I saw on Twitter was. And I'm only bringing it up because I'm curious what your guys' opinion is in the comments. Now, I did see some people respond and say, yeah, but was Eminem suing somebody over a diss track, over a back and forth battle? Obviously, that wasn't the case. It was more so Benzino just didn't like Eminem, would lowly rate his albums, which made no sense. And Benzino, in my opinion, was the reason why The Source fell off. But that's for another video, another day. Regardless, he was trying to push the narrative that Eminem was racist and leak old videos and stuff like that of Eminem, and that was why the lawsuit came about. Now, I don't even know if M was fully behind it, if it was his label being like, yo, we have a moneymaker right here, and this dude is trying to take away from that, so we got to just shut this down. I don't know what the situation was. Regardless, I don't really feel any type of way about anybody doing lawsuits. It's like, I just don't have time to care, if I'm being completely honest with you. I do think that it is a little bit different, though, that Drake is pushing a lawsuit based on a diss track. Now, don't get me wrong, it is another big deal, right? Like Eminem trying to be labeled as racist in hip hop, in rap, is a big deal. That can literally derail your whole entire career. The same as pedophilia can derail your whole entire career, your life, your like everything. It probably is a little bit worse, to be completely honest with you. So I get it from that standpoint, but there's probably been times other people have been called or named certain things, or certain narratives were pushed and it just never caught on virally. For whatever reason, Kendrick's grew virally because Not Like Us was such a viral hit, and the entire song, besides the colonizer part, was basically saying you're a pedo, you mess with minors. And so it just kind of blew up and became this big thing. And as much as like I can feel bad to an extent because we don't have 100% proof, right? And to get dragged for something like that when there's no actual hard proof of it, it's got to suck. Not going to lie. But you did bait the man into the back and forth. You did push for it and ask for it and continue to poke and poke and poke. And he finally responded. And then you're like, whoa, 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 whoa. You can't say all that, though. And so that's where I'm a little bit more on the fence of like, I just don't think that you should do the lawsuit, right? Like you asked for it. It's not like Kendrick just came out of the blue and just started to call you this and throw shots at you and all this other stuff. You baited him. So I don't know. I'm curious what you guys think, to be honest with you. I'm really curious.
Up here. Drinking, acting, double act, taking bubble baths. And couples therapy, they cuddling with bubble wrap. Hey, anything to cover bag and the numbers back. But why rap with lawsuits? He got a couple racks. Check his wheelchair, Jimmy never walked the walk. Quentin Miller gave him scripts, he could talk the talk. Know yourself, 10 bands, he's going wall to wall. That auto-tune gave him pitch, so we can walk to y'all.
Now, if anybody does not know, I'm pretty sure Quentin Miller is the person that was leaked doing a what I don't even know what you'd call it. Like he basically recorded a track or a hook or something like that Drake was supposed to record, and it was like it was showing him how he should do it. Like, you know what I'm saying? I forget. There's a term for it, and for some reason I can't think of it off the top of my head right now. And it's not. I'm not thinking about ghostwriting. Like, although that is potentially that's what it's pointing to. But there's something that you call it when you record a track ahead of time and you like let them know, like, okay, here is how I deliver this line and that line. Here's the melody, da 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 da, and then you're able to hear it and then replicate it when you go in. I just like a dummy track or some shit like that. But already coming in, lawsuits. He got a couple racks. Like, there's gonna be a lot of little shit hidden in here for sure because that's what Knox does.
Racks, check his wheelchair. Jimmy never walked the walk. Quentin Miller gave him scripts, he could talk the talk. Know yourself, 10 bands, he's going wall to wall. That auto-tune gave him pitch so we can walk to y'all. Hey. Laurie, leave that mag hosted. While he carry on with birds, they gon' trap vultures. I know the why to be more, come and tap soldiers. But this man, the Willie O'Neal of the rap culture. And that got a weird case, why is he around? Rocket can't be good for traffic, why is he in town? So many stranger things, I wonder why you take L's. But you too famous, I just hope the Millies age well.
Bro, that's wild. Those is probably gonna be the coldest bars in this for me, just because it touches on some real shit. And it is very questionable, even though she has come forward and said there's never been anything weird. He's never tried anything, nothing like that. Like, we're just friends. It is still really weird to me. I'm sorry. Like, I get that you're in a similar space, right? And you might want to lend advice to somebody, and that's totally understandable. But to have back and forth text messages with somebody beyond just saying, hey, if you need something regarding the industry, reach out to me. I will try to help you or put my team on it. That's totally cool. I think that that's actually a good gesture because a lot of people that are younger coming up in the industry, whether it's acting, music, whatever, they're very blind to the realities of it, right? And they could very easily be taken advantage of financially in all sorts of different ways. And so to lend that advice or that ability to get that advice is, I think, a commendable thing. The problem with their relationship, though, is the whole, like, her being in that interview is really what sparked it, where she was like 11 still, or 12 or some shit like that, or she was 14 maybe, I think. Actually, I'm thinking of her character name 11, but either way, she was young. She was underage, definitely. And she's like, oh, Drake just texted me, he said I miss you or something. And I'm like, it's like that meme. I forget who the basketball player is, but he just looked at the camera like mad confused. And that's exactly what I thought when I saw that clip, because that's just odd to me. Like I said, it's one thing, somebody younger, you offer advice and you tell them, hey, if you need something, reach out to me, my team, like, we got your back. You know, I know it's tough coming up at a young age in this industry, shit can get crazy. But to be texting and being like, yo, I miss you. Like, bitch, what? Like, what are we talking about? Why would you text that to a person that's like 14? That shit don't make no sense to me. So to me, I don't know, like, maybe nothing weird happened. Maybe he never tried to pursue anything, but it doesn't mean that he wasn't fostering that relationship and trying to create a closeness. So that way, when she was of age, he could clap. That's a possibility. You know what I'm saying? Like, it just maybe never happened because she ended up with a boyfriend. So it's almost like, we put the seed there. No pun intended, and it just didn't grow. So we move on to the next one, right? So that I don't know, but I can't say that for sure. I don't know. But that would be the first thing that I would think if I'm being completely honest with you. Now, I don't know who William O'Neal is, so I'm a little bit out of the loop on that. But the Millie thing, bro, that shit, woo. That's probably the biggest thing that I think somebody can use against him as of right now.
Culture, and that got a weird case, why is he around? Rocket can't be good for traffic, why is he in town? So many stranger things, I wonder why you take L's. But you too famous, I just hope the Millies age well. Hey, checking in from Texas, I just hope you get the message. I just hope you learned a lesson. Houston, we got a problem, ask Rihanna, he's obsessive. Got 42 rings like his father, he possessive. I'm kidding. My bad, did I push the T? Like father, like...
Wait, hold up.
I just hope you learned a lesson. Houston, we got a problem. Ask Rihanna, he's obsessive. Got 42 rings like his father, he possessive. I'm kidding. My bad, did I push the T? Like father, like son, you've been pushing P's. Talking about your clips, who you sonning when you pushing these? Cause every pick you take with Adonis, think push the T. Look,
that was dope. Like, a lot of little wordplay and shit. Sunning. But did I push the T? Push a T. You know what I'm saying? Pushing, like, push a T cooked this fool. Push T cooked this fool.
Bad, did I push the T? Like father, like son, you've been pushing P's. Talking about your clips, who you sonning when you pushing these? Cause every pick you take with Adonis, think push the T. Look, I ain't wanna diss you, but then you went Chernobyl on reactors, that's the issue. We like it when you sing, we don't like the lies you misuse. Include us in your case and then disguise it, that's a bitch move. But bitch ways to fit you, with bitch braids and slick moves. You dip fades and switch views, to get paid you snitch so. You read the style and the gimmicks, BBL to hide your image. You could never buy authentic snitch. And act, I know what's at stake. Use me to call out Shaq, run our sus for Drake.
Yeah, I like how he said the act, I know what's at stake. Because I did see that Knox Hill had tweeted out. He's like, hey, listen, is one thing that you're using my comment section to try to push a narrative, but then you're throwing the steak ad on it. Like, don't do that. Don't do that. Yo, the steak ad is on everything. If you're on Twitter, you know what I'm talking about. It's literally on everything. And it's funny because I was just thinking about it this morning. Like, it'll get a community notes that says, this picture is using a steak ad, which is illegal or not. Well, not illegal. I take it back. It's against the TOS of Twitter. You're not supposed to promote the gambling site for whatever reason. I don't know what the TOS is exactly, but I'm just like, what do the community notes matter if you don't take down the actual picture, if you don't take down the tweet, right? Like people just post it. Community notes says that it's promoting a gambling site, which shouldn't be allowed on Twitter. And really all that does is just make people more aware of the fact that there is a gambling ad on the picture or the video, but it doesn't get rid of it. So it's like, it almost seems pointless.
I know you fighting with addiction, see that struggle on your face, but next time you wanna gamble, keep my fucking subs away. To get even, y'all moving on. Y'all don't do it for the love, but the oohs and ahs. Y'all moving shady, but without the coup de grace. Just bring it back to rap, why I lost, who gotta move the bars. Y'all moving shady, but...
Who is this? Yo, Drake got pictures with so many different people. It's actually crazy, dog. It's wild. I assume that she is also somebody that is potentially underage. I'm guessing that every picture he's in is with somebody that's potentially underage or was at one point, or they're very young, right? Like maybe they're of age, but they're like just barely.
Without the coup de grace, just bring it back to rap. Why I lost, who gotta move the bars. Turn his TV off, it's Kendrick at the Super Bowl. He took control, so you popped out in a super troll. Disrespect the culture, you supposed to be an OG foe, but we both know the future, pillow talking on that OV hoe.
A lot of plays there as far as like Control, which was something, Control by Kendrick was so fire to me. That shit was so ridiculous. I absolutely loved that.
Y'all moving shady, but without the coup de grace. Just bring it back to rap. Why I lost, who gotta move the bars. Turn his TV off, it's Kendrick at the Super Bowl. He took control, so you...
I'm gonna be real with you. Now, there's no connection here because it's so many bars apart, and I don't think it was meant to be, but when he said like the shady part and stuff like that, when I heard Control by Kendrick, when he goes into that last sequence about the pilot diving and whatever, like that felt to me very much like an Eminem portion of a verse. Like where M would just go off and just say wild shit. Like that was what I always thought. So I think that's kind of interesting that it just happened to be that these bars were very close to each other. But
you popped out in a super troll. Disrespect the culture, you supposed to be an OG foe, but we both know the future, pillow talking on that OV hoe. Oh, he hurt your feelings, so you turn snitch. Try and get revenge, your guts turn thin. Francis Drake jump ship, that shit burn quick. How you gon' axis? Then turn bitch. Nasty Knox.
Yo, that's a wild,
hey,
wild
shout out the
bar.
reactors, man. Some call me a lyrical surgeon with these breakdowns. Had to get the scrubs on to get a scrub going for this. You know?
Yo, shout out to Samad though for sampling that original Scrub song and kind of turn it into this. Because this also, wait, hold up. What else does this remind me of? I didn't even consider that.
Reactors, man. Some call me a lyrical surgeon with these breakdowns.
Okay, no, never mind. It's just the Scrubs. But yeah, it sampled that, threw some different drums and shit like that on it, if I'm not mistaken. It came out dope. Shout out to Samad. Trying to holler at me. Want no scrub. The scrub is a guy that can't get no love from me. Although I will say, listen, as much as Scrub was a classic, No Pigeon was one of the greatest response tracks ever. That was one of the greatest things ever. If you've never heard No Pigeon, please go listen to that because that shit goes so hard to me. Anyways, yeah, this whole situation is very interesting. It's just weird because like I did a video about this on my main channel, Duane TV. Link is down below if anybody's interested. I do commentary style stuff. A lot of times it's not always music related. It just depends on what's going on in music, but I will talk about shit happening in music. So I did talk about Drake and the lawsuit and stuff like that. Otherwise, I talk about like drama or just crazy shit that happens among streamers, YouTubers, or just different things in the world. But in that video, I discussed the whole situation because it just seems weird to me that he's using reaction channels to try to show that, listen, this shit was promoted to millions and millions and millions of people, and they're all being told that I'm a pedo, because of this song by Kendrick, and that UMG facilitated it by not copyright claiming it, so on and so forth, when in reality, some of Drake's like diss tracks, they weren't copyright claimed either, and he specifically reached out to creators like Kai Cenat and stuff, telling them, yo, wait, I'm gonna be dropping something in like 20 minutes. Yo, pushed it. Like he was doing the same thing that he's accusing UMG and Kendrick of doing. But now, because he lost the battle in the eyes of most people and because the accusations against him went viral, now he's got a problem with it. So that's the only thing that I find weird. It's like if you didn't do that at all, if you didn't utilize reactors in the same way, if you didn't try to push the narrative in front of streamers and all these people because you knew that that was a good market, if you didn't do that, I feel like you have a bit better foot to stand on, so to speak. You know what I mean? Like you'd have a better argument because then you could just, it's just different, right? But like when you did the same shit, like let's just say it turned out the opposite way, where instead of everybody talking about Drake being a pedo, we just pushed that shit aside. We're like, nah, it's not true, clearly. And we talked about Kendrick being a wife beater. Like, yes, the two things are very different. Don't get me wrong, right? Being a pedo is definitely far worse than being a wife beater, although both are evils, right? So it's like, why? And the only reason I mention that is because I saw people saying, well, you can't compare the two. It's like, well, that's great, but they're both evil. You know what I'm saying? Like, they're both evil. So it doesn't really matter. Like, you shouldn't be either thing. So regardless of one being worse than the other, doesn't change the fact that if it was the other way around and everybody was talking about Kendrick being a wife beater, so on and so forth, Drake wouldn't suddenly come out in his defense and be like, yo, guys, we can't be doing this. We shouldn't do this. Like, this is pushing a bad narrative. He'd be laughing, joking, and joining in on it. But because it's on him now, it's a whole nother story. It's just, I don't know. The whole shit just mad weird to me. But let me know what you guys think down below. Shout out to Knox for this. I appreciate you guys. I will catch you in the next one, homies.